The sense of observation still requires distance and separation, because if there's observing, there's a subject observing objects. There's a sort of knowing experience. However subtle that seems to be, there's still the sense of observation. Observing means I am observing this. Now,
Yes.
it's not wrong, but it's not really distant. It's not really observing. So, and it's not really coming out of nothing. It is nothing. It is nothing. It's nothing, perhaps, appearing to observe nothing. But there's no sense that things are coming out of nothing. There's just nothing immediately being thoughts, ideas, perception, perhaps immediately seeming to be observing. It's too immediate to talk about or describe or explain, yeah. Too immediate, there's no distance for there to be to talk about it. There's just talking to is what's happening, yeah. Fear is also nothing fearing, yeah. Fear and scared, afraid can appear. Because a sense of position is a felt sense of separation, and it fears its absence. There's no existence in nothing, is there? Because existence is a thing. It's like sticking out. It's solid. If there's nothing, there's no solidity, there's no substance, there's no realness. There's only nothing. So nothing is it's this. It's all that there is. Yeah. So existence too just falls apart. There's no existence. There's no reality. There's no thing at all. I mean, feelings still appear without an owner. I say still appear. It's, nothing's really appearing. But yeah, of course, feelings and emotions, sadness, anger, love, joy, it's all without anyone. There's just no substance to any of it. There's no hold. There's no holding on. There's no attachment. Because there's no relationship. There's no relativity. There's no separate positions to relate to each other. There's no separation, so there's no relation. There's no attachment or detachment. It's not detachment or dissociation. It's not. It's just unconditional love. So that there's no attachment to family or friends or anyone, because there's no separation for there to be an attachment to that, and there's no separation for there to be a detachment from that either, because detachment and attachment both require separation. So that falls apart, and then there's just nothing. Yeah, well, that's not an obstacle. It's not a problem. It's not something that needs to be sat with or avoided. It's not, that is nothing. There's no separation between nothing and pain, or nothing and thought, nothing and there's no nothing and. It is all nothing. All of it is no thing. So it doesn't need to be, you know, processed or anything. It's simply this freedom, which is undescribable. And there's no connection with the nothing. Because again, connection and disconnection still requires separation. So there's no real connection, disconnection, attachment, detachment. Yeah, so the immediacy, the separate experience, which cannot, it is so illusory, it's not even happening, and it cannot stand, even though it's not happening. It cannot tolerate immediacy, because immediacy is the death of the separation that's already not real. Separation is the opposite of immediacy, and yet there is only immediacy. So it's like confused, a confused sort of energy, which is also nothing, of course. Appearing as a sort of sense of someone being separate from nothing or everything or whatever. So it's just totally immediate nothingness. Everything, everything. And the problem for the mind is that there isn't one. There's no mind machine where all the thoughts appear out of. There's nothing to hold on to. There's no foundation. There's no levels. There's no ground level and all of the other levels of me that appear out of that subconscious, unconscious, conscious mind. There's no such thing. There's only immediacy, which is nothing at all. And so the irritation is like appearing on behalf of nothing is nothing. And it's like it sort of seems to be like an energetic, irritable feeling or an energy. It's just like the energy of irritability, wanting to be something, which is nothing, wanting to be something. So it can remain separate and feel safe somehow. And yet that is the irritable dream. And because it's already nothing, it has no need to be any other way. So it can't go anywhere with that. It already is nowhere to be anything else. Because there's no inside and outside. There's no within and without. There's no dimension to nothing. Nothing is dimensionless. So there's no distinction to be made. That's why it can't be talked about, because there's no distinction, there's no inside, there's no outside, there's no this coming out of nothing. It is only nothing, yeah. Thoughts are nothing thoughting. There's no distance. There's no real now in relation to before and after, because even an idea or a memory is immediately happening. Yeah. You could call it now. It just sort of implies that now and then. Yeah, so it's always this, and yet there's not even an always. So every idea and thing that I could hold on to, I always or it just collapses. It's always this. It's always this nothingness, which is totally immediate. Never going, never coming, never becoming, just it's never moving, it's never still, it's not anything. It's undefinable. So still is part of the story of me and my life. Because it's referring to a memory where it wasn't there and now it's here again. But timelessness has nothing to do with still or again. All readiness is totally timeless and immediate, and there is already no real observer. It's an illusion. It doesn't need to fade away, but perhaps it's seemingly in an illusory process weakened. The sense of observer, the sense of me, the sense of position, separation. It's it's stunned. It's been weakened. It's been cracked, shocked to the core, which already isn't there. And perhaps it just fades away again in an illusory timeline that's not really happening already because immediacy is everything. But there's fading of this sense of separation. And there's no need to hope for that to happen or hope for the end of the separation dream, because hope would only provide a sense of direction and destination, which is separation too. Hope is separation. Yeah. It's easier than easy, simpler than simple, more obvious than the most obvious thing imaginable. Closer than close, because there's no distance. More intimate than personal. beyond vast, be vaster than vast. It's like totally everything and nothing at all already. That there's no here, that's another incomprehensible thing, that there's no here. Space two falls apart. The sense that something is here, that thoughts are here, that I am here, is just this is exposed as part of the illusion, the here sense. A here confirms an I am, it seems. And the I am and the here collapse. There's no spatial sense at all. There's no position. There's no location. There's no center. There's just nothing, which is beyond space. So there's no sense of anyone being in a body or anywhere for that matter. It's balanced. So thoughts are appearing, memories appearing, sensation appearing, all simply appearing, in a way appearing, not really appearing, but just simply this. There's no location where the sensation is to be found, where a thought is to be found, where a sight, a smell, a sound, anything. There's no location to anything, only immediacy, boundless immediacy. No I, no am, no here. I mean, there's no sense that there's pain in the heart. There's just pain. There's no location, so it's not in anywhere. It's not in anything. There is no thing for anything to be in. There's no inside and outside again. There's no dimension, no location, no boundaries, no containers. And waiting is nothing too. Waiting is nothing already. There's nothing to be waited for. So there's no collapse, there's no event, there's no experience or state of absence. Absence is already what is happening, and no what. Because when this sort of absence, this nothingness, this freedom has seemingly been tasted by body, the absence of the sense of me, separation. Separation might seem to return and then wait around for the absence again, wait around for it to come back, the absence to come back. It's not gone. It's not gone anywhere. So it's waiting or anticipating another glimpse, another resonating, another something that it's going to know about or think about or feel or contemplate. It's already